Hello and happy 2025.
Hi, puppy boy.
Yesterday I filmed some Instagram stories because I had taken a little social media break for like 2 weeks after the new year, totally unintentionally. It just kept rolling and I was doing a lot of home projects and cleaning and organizing my studio, getting my business ready for a new year. And while I was recording those stories, I ended up talking for so long and it was too much for Instagram, so I cut it down a lot. But I realized, I'm like, oh, maybe this is a sign that I should just film a YouTube video to capture all of my thoughts. I would like to give a little life update, talk about how 2024 went, what I'm looking forward to for 2025. Before I dive into all of my goals and dreams and plans, I do want to acknowledge the devastation in LA. I've connected with an interior designer who has connections to some of the families who unfortunately lost their homes, and I've been creating watercolor paintings of their homes to hopefully be a small joy and capture the spirit and memory that was their home. I got the first address from them and painted the first piece yesterday, and I'll be doing a few for them as I have time amongst my client projects. But I also wanted to mention it here and on my Instagram in case you may know someone who lost their home. You're welcome to email me. I've got my puppy dog visiting here, who was probably the highlight and biggest life change of 2024. So let's reflect a little bit on that. Bogey turned a year old the day after Christmas, so he's getting closer to being a dog. Still does some puppy things, but he was definitely the highlight and my focus of 2024. Jake and I wanted a dog for essentially our entire relationship, and we finally rescued one this year. We said we were just gonna go look, and our rescue was having like an adoption event at a brewery, and we went in at like such a busy time last February, but I think it was meant to be because we met Bogey. We really felt like he chose us. He's bringing me a toy right now. What'd you bring me? Oh, your baby. You want to show them your baby? This is Bogey's baby. I don't know if I can capture him, can I? Oh, there's Bogey.
Bogey bear.
Adopting him has been so special and fun, but also so much work. I really think you have to like put in effort to get the dog you want. So I was saying we have wanted a dog for so long, and despite that, I don't feel like I did that much research about what having a puppy entails. Just the training and the time and losing sleep. We've been past that stage for a long time, but he had some health issues we had to figure out, and he really has a lot of energy, but we don't have a huge yard. That's something we want in 2025. I think a highlight for me has been how much time I've spent in nature, just out and about with him. And now that he's turned a year, we've actually started running together, which was like not a goal I had on my radar for 2025. I thought it was going to take him a lot longer to learn how to do it well alongside me, but that's been something we've been doing, and it's been a blast, and I can really see a positive effect on him. I think that defined my 2024 quite a bit because he just took so much time and also was quite the chewer, so he couldn't always be like just in my studio with me or nearby my projects. I was really grateful for many months to have a standing desk because, for example, I was working on a large watercolor commission and he would jump up on the counters to try and look at it. So being able to paint at a high height was nice for many of my pieces. I really had to learn how to incorporate him into my work life. A few weeks into 2025, I already feel like it's more about like enjoying having a dog, and we can just enjoy each other and run together and have fun. Now, as far as creativity goes for 2025, like I said, I took a 2-week social media break, not planned. I just kept finding so many things to do. I still am like doing inventory. I have some new systems I want to implement in that area, but I totally reorganized this space and I feel like I have a really nice flow. I had a good conversation with Jake because he works in science in a lab. It's also very like physical and hands-on, and he bounces from different experiments and I bounce from different painting projects and different mediums. So I really need a space that can flex with me. I have this giant studio table that I actually thrifted at Goodwill with Jake. I think it must have been from a school, like a lab or some sort of educational setting, because it's quite large. And I have found myself each day in our good routine after we run that I set up the space for whatever I'm gonna be working on. I just plan a little bit and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do acrylics and ceramics today, or watercolor and acrylics. I needed to reset those spaces in 2025, and I realized in that process I really needed a mental rest. I don't think I acknowledge how busy the holiday season is for me from like September onward. It is so jam-packed and I am truly rushing around physically, and I'm like managing so much in my mind that I think I almost jumped back into work too quickly in January. And right before that was about to happen, I was like, Paige, you need to do a lot of things just to reset for the new year. That's not to say I wasn't working. I still was fulfilling orders and starting some client commissions. The amazing thing is, I think I have created a level of mental clarity for myself that I haven't had in a really long time, and it's been beneficial every single day, and I think I'm continuing to have that clarity. Even today while I was getting ready, I had some reflections about life and work and art and creativity that like I hadn't had previously, and I really think that's a result of just giving myself that time. I mentioned on Instagram too that I am a super vivid dreamer, like full movies and people from different times in my life like will all be in the dream, like intertwined, interacting, colors, faces, outfits, wild details. So that's normal for me, but it has been on a different level. Aside from the dreams being vivid, I have started dreaming about art ideas, which really never happens to me. I had an art concept I was developing in the summer. I have quite a few originals stored here in my studio that I had painted regarding this concept, and then I had tucked them away and really forgotten about it, and then I had dreams about it. This weekend I revisited that concept in my sketchbook and kind of dove back into it. We'll see what that becomes, but that to me was just the moment of like, you did it. You rested so much that you have like tapped back into that really special creativity. And I am not someone that thinks you need to be like so zenned out and restful to find creativity. I get a lot of my best ideas when I'm driving or in the shower, which now that I say that, those are times where you have a little bit of mental rest, but I think you can have creativity amongst the madness and the chaos and the busyness. I do think they can be intertwined, and I think I thrive off of that, but you can only thrive off of that for so long. You gotta give yourself some rest. Today's Friday, by the way. We're about to have the long weekend, which I'm really looking forward to. We're switching gears a bit. We've switched spaces. I have some art prints to package for an order that needs to go out today. I honestly cannot remember, forgive me if I have shared that I have 2 spaces now, which has been truly incredible. I would ideally like to always have a setup like this, or at least a large enough space where they can be separate, because in the past when I have had those 2 spaces together, especially when it was a small space, I would paint and then I would have to clean up all the paint in order to pack orders and have them be clean and do it efficiently and like not get paint on the greeting cards. It's been a really great physical separation. Being in here brings me to probably my last point of the video in looking forward to 2025. Like, I definitely have thoughts on how I want my life to feel. I think I was like stressed and worried more than I probably shared in 2024, just with having a puppy and, like I said, like figuring out Bogey's health stuff and just like making sure he was all good. And a lot of people choose a word of the year. That's not super important to me, but my art is so vibrant and many areas of my life feel that way, but I wanted to feel a little more vibrant inside. This new running adventure with Bogey has really been making me feel good. I think I have been nicer to myself also mentally. I think I can be really hard on myself. I really love to work. I value hard work a lot, but I'm like so hard on myself sometimes, and I can feel myself being a lot nicer this year already. Yesterday, I didn't get as much done as I wanted to, and I felt myself like slipping back into that, like being hard on myself, and then I just spent a little time at my computer accomplishing what I needed to, and I'm like, that was so not a big deal. Like, why are you being so hard? So that's something I'm wanting in 2025. But regarding this space, I have learned to be a lot more flexible over the years. Many of you know Jake was in grad school for 6 years doing his PhD in chemistry and is now doing his postdoc. So those 6 years he was in Minneapolis, and then these 2 years of his postdoc he has been in Nashville. His postdoc will wrap up in July of 2025. When I realized today that we've been doing that for 7.5 years, it absolutely blew my mind. You know, I've made it work, still doing so many events and projects in Arizona, but also being split, enjoying Minneapolis and now Nashville. Although it's been a challenge, it's really been like one of the coolest opportunities that I'm so grateful for, to experience different climates, different people, different cultures and mindsets. We have made lifelong friends through doing that I would not trade, but I have had to learn to be flexible because, for example, with his postdoc ending in July, we really do not know yet like what his next step will be for his job, and that's maybe going to be something more longer term, maybe not. We don't really know. We have ideas of where we would like to be, but I have to be somewhat flexible. Luckily, one of us has a flexible job that can be done from anywhere. I really have a lot of gratitude for that, because if I had to also like find work in each city, that would be a challenge. But we've been having good conversations about our goals and how willing we want to like be at the mercy of a job, or if we want to define more of like where we want to be and like our goals and what that entails. So that means I also have to be flexible about my different workspaces. Over the years, I have found that I don't set a lot of like super rigid goals for my life or my business, because I'm just in a time where I need to be flexible. And I also like to leave space and room for projects and opportunities to pop up that I was not planning on. When I look back at 2024, some of my highlights of my year work-wise were projects I couldn't have even planned. Mainly, I'm thinking about in September, I had the opportunity to create a collection in collaboration with Desert Botanical Garden in Phoenix, and I already have sold my art in their botanical garden gift shop for many years and been so grateful to work with them on different projects like live paintings. But this was the first collection we collaborated on. It was totally not like planned or strategized. It was actually born out of like a very organic, I made a painting for their auction in April of 2024 that they sold to benefit the garden, and then they also turned it into t-shirts for the employees and volunteers. The response was so great that we had the idea to create a whole collection that benefited the garden and saguaro cacti in particular. The collection is called Save the Saguaros. It's available there in store and online. And then in September, when we launched it, we got to do a launch event. I actually was thinking I need to share those photos on Instagram today. I haven't done that, but that's something I totally could not have planned. I suppose I could have reached out to them and like gotten the ball rolling on that, but I think the fact that it was born so organically is really what made it special. So I like to leave mental room for those types of projects. I've done that for many years now. At some point, I kind of stopped having like these hard goals and I just let it be more of a flow, which has been healthy, which is surprising because I'm like quite a planner naturally, but you have to meet life where it meets you, and right now it requires me to be more flexible. I really do not know what is to come for 2025. I hope it's good things, and I'm hoping to have a really good mindset through all of it. And it's been really fun to verbalize all of this. I've had a lot of this going on in my head the past couple weeks. So thanks for being here if you made it to the end. I'm going to start packaging these art prints now. Where did I put them? I have a bunch of these going off to my retailer, so I better get into that. I also have a call today at 3, so we're moving. Thanks so much for being here. I'm looking forward to sharing art and life with you this year. If you want to find me more regularly and my work, I am super active on Instagram, usually sharing every day. So I am at Paige Poppe over there. I'll also be sharing here on Shorts, but I'm also over on Instagram stories pretty regularly, and I can share more links and like in the moment what I'm working on. And I am wishing you the best in the new year as well. Let's throw it back. I'm sending all of my positive and creative vibes your way for 2025, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.
Want to say bye, Boogie?
Oh yeah, so nice. Oh my gosh, he looks like he's on a spy mission. Here. He's in watchdog mode.